I want you to stay tuned until the very end, because the final advice is the one that most people never hear. Hold on a moment and lean in closer, because this behind-the-scenes glimpse will give you a new perspective on Lara Trump. People discuss headlines, family relationships, and short videos. But the true story is about developing a voice that people can identify from the first. It was no accident that Lara ended up in the spotlight. She discovered how a message may go from a cacophony of words to a single line that remains, from noise to note. She intentionally keeps things simple: clean language, a steady tone, and topics that are relevant to everyday life: safety, hope, work, and home. She is aware that using straightforward language is a sign of respect for the audience, not a lack of nuance. When she speaks, her gaze remains fixed like a promise. Her shoulders are back, and her voice is steady. This has to do with control, not shock. Every second has a purpose, because it can be turned into a clip. Planning is the key to that kind of control. Subjects are charted. The purpose of openings is to invite, not to pressure. She frequently uses a little tail to introduce a point before concluding with a straightforward sentence. The point is better understood and retained by the mind after that motion. She combines that with an aesthetic that is consistent with the message, straightforward lines, a focus on the face rather than the attire. Without using words, it lets you know that the idea itself is the aim. That quiet focus alone attracts attention in a noisy world. Anyone can learn the following. From that, recognize your audience as actual individuals first. What sustains them this week? What makes their lives easier? Second, modify your message such that it still makes sense in a 10-second clip. Third, act in a manner consistent with your words. Be calm when you need to be trusted, and firm when you need to take action. Pace is another lesson. She doesn't wander, but she also doesn't hurry. She navigates a packed room like a well-defined road. That tempo demonstrates consideration for others' time. I'll get right to the point and give you a step you can do because I value you, it says. Choose one idea that is important to you and test it today. Write 3 succinct lines outlining the main point, a straightforward demonstration, step the audience may take. Get comfortable speaking the lines out until they come naturally to you. You sound stable without coming across as rigid in this way. She is also capable of handling resistance. The key is to patiently return to the core path rather than fighting every side road. Patience eventually triumphs over loudness. Even if others disagree with you, they will still understand you, and that in and of itself fosters trust. You continue to watch, pay close attention to the finish, because I'll be sharing a 1-minute template for your next talk. Write your hook, which begins with an emotion, in a single line. In a single line, identify the subject. Provide one convincing example that people can visualize. Give someone something to try this evening. Close with the same emotion you started with, but with a plan for the future. This can also be practiced by recording a 1-minute version of your idea, watching it once without notes, and then watching it again and cutting out any extraneous words. You'll feel lighter and more straightforward after the third try, and your companions will immediately notice the difference. Lastly, keep in mind that a brand is a promise you keep in every word you say, not a logo. Your voice, your speed, your examples, and your actions should all be consistent with your vow to be fair and transparent. If this analysis helped you understand Lara Trump's strategy in a new way, please watch through to the end. Hit like, share this with someone who wants to speak more powerfully, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next in-depth look at crafting a message that resonates.